The haunting hour is at hand. Ghostly hauntings since time began. Raw side paranormal seeks the truth, looking for some kind of real proof. Creepy floorboards and eerie darkness. Grab your camera and document this. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the wrong side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. The icy air touches your neck. You feel like screaming, but you stay in check. Orbs rising up to take the magical flight. You can't believe what's happening tonight. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Raw Side. I'm glad everybody could join us. We're having the wonderful Dawson join us this evening. Everybody help me in welcoming Dawson. Hi, hon. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Wonderful.
Oh, I'm trying to
huh?
survive this
I'm
heat.
just- I know my AC went out.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, and then they came this morning and said they fixed it, but they definitely didn't.
Yeah, isn't it something? You know, in the wintertime, it's usually the furnace that shits the bed, and in the summer, it's the air conditioner. It's like a no-win situation.
Well, I live in an apartment building, and this happened twice already, and we're the only ones that have had a problem. So it
Oh,
is like,
boy.
why? But
Right. Why us?
it
Not the
is what
guy
it
next
is.
door.
I just try not to open the door.
That's all.
Don't want to let the heat in.
Get all those fans cranking and maybe you can get some kind of a breeze. I know it's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Oh, geez. Well,
hmm
I'm glad that you were able to join me again to make up for what we got cut short the last time because of your family vacay. And so
Yep.
there's a lot of things that, you might have missed out. That video is no longer available. I took it down for professional reasons. Long story, we'll fill you in later.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
so
I figured as much. When I
um
saw it was down, I was like, "Ooh, okay."
yeah. So it's it was a professional decision, and it was better all the way around. And eventually, when everything does come out, then that'll explain the reason.
Yeah.
Hi, Bill. Welcome. Hi, Phil. What did everybody think about the intro? Bill and Phil helped me out with that, so I was really liking it.
I liked it.
It's
Did you get a new little the cover photo and everything too? I saw that
yeah,
there's like spider webs
changed
and
all that, and just trying to spice it up a little bit. I'm not as good as
spider
everybody else
webs.
in this stuff. Hi, Dom. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Sir Spookfest. Hello. Let's see who else is joining us here. Giselle. Welcome. Is Wiz still here? He's lurking. I know one of them was going to be lurking.
Right.
So, hi to everybody. So, I'm glad that you were able to come back on and you could fill us in on, like your experience at the Hill House and actually all the other stuff that you've been up to, or what you can fill us in on. Put it that way.
Uh, so I don't think I should dive into that much
Okay.
right now, just because something's gonna come out soon, and I don't want to spoil it or get it out there a little early.
Right.
But I mean, I can say, I'm willing to say, I do believe the place is haunted. I really
Okay.
do. I mean, even before the current owners bought it, they bought it as a haunted house. Like, it was advertised on the news and everything as like a haunted house. Like, there's been reports of hauntings for a long time now. Um, I had one specific experience that I know, like, was like can't be explained. There's a few others that I still hold a little faith that it can't be explained. Um, I yeah, I mean, I got blocked because I guess I can say this. They have cameras all around the house,
Right.
and again, for everybody listening, I am
Hi,
not
Faith.
talking crap. I'm not saying anything, accusing anybody of anything.
Right.
So I put turn my REM pod on just to see how long it would take for it to mess up because it's
Right.
broken. It lasted a good like 5 minutes and then it just started messing up.
It's a
But
sermon.
so
Well,
they
Bill's in the
have
house.
yeah, I saw that. So they have cameras around that you can see, and then they have cameras in the house that you can't like tap into or anything. Like you don't have access to it.
Right.
Um, they're
Hi,
just like
Carla.
battery powered blink cameras. They have two variations. Again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying they're doing anything, but those specific cameras, me and Joe looked them up and they both have two-way audio. So we're
Yes,
like,
I have the
okay,
same system.
just in case, we weren't saying they were doing anything, but we were like, we need to keep an eye on that because as a paranormal investigator, you have to be sure about things. And I saw they posted on Facebook a EVP of this group, and somebody commented and said, "Wow, like that sounded like it was really close to the camera." And they said, "Yes, and these are blink cameras. They do not have two-way audio. We can only listen." Like
Yeah, no.
unprovoked, they just
Yeah.
said that in the comment
No, that's not
section.
true.
And I saw it and I just wasn't very happy about it because you're lying. You it's nobody accused them of doing that, but they were lying about it. So I left a comment and said, "Hey, in case you didn't know, the two variations of blink cameras you have in your home do actually have two-way capabilities." And I was like, I'm not going to comment on the EVP though, because in my
Right.
opinion, it was just one of the people. It clearly sounded like her. But I wasn't accusing them. I was just informing them in case
Right.
they didn't. Who knows? Maybe those things were in the house when they bought it. I think they bought it in like 2018 or something. So it's possible that they were there and they just didn't know that they had that function. And the comment was immediately deleted and I was blocked. And I
Yeah.
was like, wow, like,
They knew.
okay, so that's weird. Why would you do that?
Yeah, no, they knew. Because Joe also had mentioned when we were speaking about it on live, about how all of them had black tape on them on the bottom. And I said, well, because that's
Uh
the it's an indicator light when the camera is activated by video and sound. A little green light will blink, let you know that it's
well,
activated.
it'll also activate due to motion. Um, like if you're talking, even if you're
Yes.
not in front of it, if you're just talking, it'll go off.
Sorry,
And
I
so
keep
the tape
slaughtering.
thing Well, some people may look at it as like a sinister thing. The way I looked at it was, well, those blue lights, believe it or not, are pretty bright. And if you're trying to walk around in all night vision or whatever,
Right.
and like you can see that, it might be a little annoying. So, I figured that's why they were covering up the light. But then, when they say that their cameras don't have two-way capabilities and this and that, then that does add a little layer. But once again, I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm
Right.
just pointing out that those cameras do have those capabilities. We don't have anything that shows that they're doing that.
Right.
And to be completely honest, barely anything happened. So for them to do that, they didn't do it very good because they should have been talking. They should have been doing all sorts of stuff to try to give us an eventful night.
Oh,
That's true, but I don't think everything is sinister. I don't think everything has a sinister meaning. I don't like to look at things like that.
right.
Um, my first thought was, well, yeah, they're bright blue lights all over the house. You're gonna want to cover those up.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
it can be distracting, yes. But also, again, the flip side of the coin is, yeah, that lets you know that it's activated. So if you do hear something, it could be somebody out in their street in their car on their phone talking through the camera because it links right up to your telephones. Because I have, like I
No,
said, this
these don't.
I have the same system here, and mine links up through my phone, through the
Oh,
computers.
your cell phone.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. When you said telephone, I thought you
yeah,
meant it was
yeah,
like
nope, it's through your
a
cell
LAN
phone.
cord
So
and
it's like I
stuff.
said, they could be miles away and still activate and speak through the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I asked somebody to test it for me that they had one of the versions, and I'm not going to mention the person, but their family member was, I believe, a pretty big distance away in college and went on their phone and activated it while we set up like a, is there anybody there? And then
Right.
had them. So it is possible, but I'm not saying that they're doing that because
Exactly.
that is a major dick move if they're not, and that is just I'm not that person. I don't stand for people like that are willing to blindly accuse. I don't like that at all. I don't think that's fair. But those are the details about it.
Right. So, well, yeah, like I
Um,
said, once you guys go through everything, then you can make your final decision.
yeah, and the animatronic, it's not like it. I don't think that that's there to like scam anybody because they even told us like, it's broken, the motion thing's out, we don't really know why it does it, people can bump into it. They didn't say like, hey, when this goes off it's a demon or something. So I did just happen to find this little sweet spot that
Set it
the
off.
vibration or whatever would set
Right.
it off even at the smallest little tap. But there was a lot of rumors too. There's, some people they will blindly accuse. There's rumors of pressure plates underneath the floor and that it was remote activated and that people were doing it from a distance. That's not true at all.
Say they would.
It's
That's an
just,
awful lot to go through for one thing.
yeah, I'm all for debunking and trying to find a rational explanation. I don't like when people reach like super super far to try to make something seem wrong. I think it's got to be rational.
Right. Well, no, yeah, I
So I
agree. I because I had a long time ago, it was a clown doll. Uh, Anybody that's like my age would know about this clown. It had a plastic face and a red nose, and he would turn the nose, and it would play music. And years went by, it never even did anything. And then just one night, you'd hear a couple of notes coming from it. So it could have been anything that just set it off, or it could have been temperature, anything. So, I'm not saying it wasn't haunted because I don't go for that, but there was something that just affected the mechanism to make it drop a couple of notes. to let you know it was in the
Right.
room.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
to
Dom has those clowns. Oh,
I think I look at things very fairly and not in a sinister way. I don't believe on like watching something and immediately being set up with like, okay, it's fake and how can I show that it's fake? I like to be in the middle about it and be ready for either explanation.
right.
Toys have cheap electronics too and go off randomly. Yeah, some of them do
Yes.
for sure. This specific thing, I never really like looked into it or anything, but the motion sensor is broken. We also found out that whenever I was doing an Estes method, I heard something and I like yelled, like because I can't hear, and I like yelled really loud, and whatever pitch that I like yelled somehow set it off. And then like I don't know why, but I could hear it and it freaked me out because I thought it
Oh,
was coming
geez.
through the spirit box. And I'm sitting there and for a second I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I realized what it is and I like ripped it off and it was going off and I
It
was
was
like, I could hear that
so
just
yeah.
the
It just could have
really
been like the pitch of your voice. Who knows? Because those
yeah.
sensors are pretty sensitive, and sometimes they only they go off with just certain things. They don't always go off like you expect them to. So I
Well
mean,
yeah, I
that's a
mean
good.
certain
Go ahead.
yes, certain voices, I mean like certain pitches or whatever can like break wine glasses. So like
Right.
certain sounds can do certain things. You're not just going to set it off by yelling at it all the time, but I think whatever I don't remember what it was, whatever I yelled just happened to be the right like tone and pitch or
So
whatever
your
that
voice turned the dial on.
well yeah, the little whatever, the
Right.
horse or
Whatever.
whatever. Yeah. It
Oh,
was scary too because I heard it just so faintly, like in the white noise and everything, and I was like, "This is coming through the spirit box." I like ripped the headphones off, and it
freaked you.
wasn't.
Freaked you out a little bit.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I got pretty spooked. I was about to rip it off and be like, "Guys, I heard the thing," but it was going off. I was like, "Oh,
There you go. That spoiled it. So
yeah,
Phil says, "Note, scream like a girl." Yeah,
sometimes,
but at least
sometimes it."
everybody screams like a girl. Well, I'm not a good screamer, so I don't scream, but I swear.
Typically my screams I've noticed. Like, you don't
You're
notice this stuff
right.
until you start making videos and you start noticing every little thing about yourself.
Right.
I notice that, like, whenever I get scared and I don't know what it is, it's always like a what the like, like I like
Right.
just instead of just screaming like like when I was at the nursing home and the bat flew at me, I just screamed because I knew what it was. I was like, moved out of the way. But I noticed that like when I edit my videos, like if I get scared at an unseen thing, I'm like, what the
Right. That's usually my response. What the? And then I take a swing. I have a tendency to take a swing. So if somebody's in front of me, you better duck. That's always
Yeah,
been my response.
yeah, I
And
do turn on dolls.
woo,
Yeah, I mean yeah, for the Hill House, I think that's my experience. I had fun, that's all what it's all about. But
exactly.
I was, a little disappointed in everything and after the fact it really did upset me about like how bad it was because not every place has everything perfect. That's just the way it is. I think if you
Right.
dig deep enough, you'll find an error in anything.
Right.
But I don't think I'd ever been to a place that was that just wrong.
Well, it was set up, even the setup. Like I said, when we were watching it, when you guys were live, it was like first thing that popped into my head was haunted attraction. I was thinking, like, why is all of this stuff set up the way it is? It's just too cluttered, too set up, and that's what Joe was saying. That he got that same feeling, like haunted attraction, with all that stuff all over the place.
I don't
And
know. In my opinion, there's something to being scared. I believe that being in a creepy environment, feeling creeped out, does put you in that mindset. It does, despite, some people disagree. That is energy. Emotions are energy. And so, energy, I think that that kind of stuff is important. Like, I don't know. I just have you seen the pictures of the LaLaurie mansion in New Orleans just got listed for sale. That
oh,
place, is like notoriously haunted. Like Nicolas Cage owned it, I think, and everything. And I saw the pictures and I was like, I could never do like a ghost hunt in there. It is so nice. It is like I just it's weird. I feel like you need it to be a little, yeah, like exactly the mindset. I'd be in there
yeah.
wanting to just like relax and like I don't know,
Yeah,
like
keep saying to yourself, boy, I wish I could live here.
yeah, exactly.
But
Like
just
I
being in
don't.
New Orleans by itself, right there, that's creepy because there's so many weird things that happen in New
Yeah,
Orleans.
and I've never been in there. It might just feel weird in there, and then it changes the perspective of everything. But just looking
Right.
at the pictures, I'm like, this place is so nice. Like, I couldn't imagine living in a beautiful mansion like this, and then just like seeing a ghost. Like, it's
Whiz.
weird.
Oh. All right, we were just talking about Dustin's experience at the Hill House, what he can release anyway.
Yeah, there's.
Wiz didn't know he had the sound off.
I gotta be careful though because I do, there is stuff coming out. I actually took down one of my live streams because I went a little too deep in it. So I don't want to have this one taken down, and I also don't, because we're live. Um, the way my brain works, things may be misinterpreted and stuff.
Right, right. Well, that's why I always stress this is always just our opinion. We're going on based on what we do know, the information that we do have. And nobody is bashing, because I don't allow any of that and any, no pointing fingers. We're just trying to point out fact that the facts that you have.
Yeah,
Um, like I said, like the thing with the cameras. Okay, yes, it is. Yes, the blink system is a two-way receiver, and yes, you can talk through it no matter where you are. So that's a red flag. But nobody's saying that that's what they're doing, but the
exactly.
capability is there.
Yeah. I don't appreciate them
Hi,
saying that they
Candy.
can't when they
Right.
know they can.
And they know they can.
I mean, it's
I mean, you just look it up
just weird.
online, look it up, on YouTube, and it'll give you a full explanation and video on how to run the system. So, I mean, if you have that in your house, you're going to look it up. If it came with the house, you're going to say, oh, how does this work? How can I, activate this? All you have to do is contact
Well,
the company.
and I'm not saying that like it was in the house before. They might have got it or it might have been in the house. I know that
Right.
they have access cuz that's how they post like their Facebook clips. But I mean, that was just me letting everyone. I don't know. It could have been in there and they could have got lied to, but the fact that they do watch and post clips
Yes.
means that they should know
They know how it
that you
works.
can. Yeah.
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 Yeah. They
But
just know how it works.
not saying they are doing it, but
No,
just that.
no, they're not. Um, yeah, I know it's because I'm still doing some research for you guys. I didn't know if you knew that.
I
And
didn't know that. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah, I'm still trying to dig up and find some stuff and help out. Because you want to find the facts, the documents that are legit, and there's everything I'm coming up with. You guys already have, so we just keep digging, just to make it fair on both ends of the spectrum. Because you guys went there with good intentions, even though you did enjoy it, but it is, you do feel like you were deceived, when you're
Well,
finding out stuff that doesn't match up.
what made me the most upset was them blocking them, them talking bad about them, sicking their friends on them, like
Yes, I had some
Martha,
guy contact
Natalie,
me. I
all
had a
these
guy
people. Yeah, what are you sicking people on him
I'm like,
for?
what are you
Like that's
contacting me for? I'm like, I just did the interview, man. I didn't, because he was saying,
yeah.
well, they need to get their facts straight. I says, well, Joe's really good at research. So I think what he's got is pretty well fact. So, if you got a problem with it, take it up with
They need to
him.
get their facts straight. If those books, those interviews, everything full of contradictions, full of
Right.
well,
Right.
this
Stuff
is
just doesn't
why
match
and
up.
yeah, I mean,
Oh no,
I
Bill,
don't think
tornado
they have any
warning.
facts straight.
Right. All right. Be careful. That means it might be coming my way.
Hey, before you go, let me show you this real quick. Sorry to take over, but
That's right.
this
Go
little
ahead.
proximity sensor on the REM pod, there's this little black sensor. It got bent and it didn't do it, but it here, let's turn the range up and maybe it'll do it. Yeah, see?
It's just doing its own thing.
Sorry, that's a bit annoying for everybody, but
No, that's already, I could barely hear it, to be honest. Hi,
oh, really?
Sky.
Yeah, just proximity sensor is busted somehow or whatever, and it'll just sit there and. I think so. I mean, it's the only. It's really the only thing it could be because it's really the only thing that isn't like hard in place. But yeah, there is like a bunch of storm warnings, and I might go to Illinois tonight, so there's a lot of storms up there.
Brewing everywhere. Yeah, you always gotta be
I might have to
careful.
drive through them.
Hi, Julie. Well, see, it's very strange, very unusual for us to have tornadoes in our area because we live in a valley. So there's really not enough momentum for the storm to create any kind of funnel or cause any kind of. But every now and then we get a little one that will zip through. So, and with the heat and everything that's going on, we've been having a lot of tornado warnings.
Yeah, yeah. Well, where I lived in Illinois was in what they call a valley. It doesn't look like a valley. I don't know why it is, but where I specifically lived, really the most that would happen is like trees falling down, and then it'd be like 10 minutes away or 20 minutes away is where the tornado might actually touch down and cause some damage. But I got pretty lucky when I was younger, and we didn't have to deal with them actually
Yeah, it's scary.
destroying homes or something.
Yes, Sky, you finally made it. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, that's great. If Bill can help you out and fix that, it'll save you some money.
Yeah. Question: does underneath have screws, or I believe it's glue? Yeah, it's glue. I think the only way you can access it is by removing the red part from the black part because they are separate.
Candy, no, Bill is in New York as well.
Oh, really?
So yeah, he doesn't live too far from me. So it's like I said, it's when they say tornado warning, it's like, oh great. But Bill is more out
Right.
into the country, so there's a little bit more room for them to have an issue.
Come down. Yeah, well, be safe, Bill, and everybody if there's any near you.
Well, if we lose the feed, then you guys, I lost my internet.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep going. So if everything starts
Okay.
to shake and rattle,
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Hopefully
under the
not.
desk. I'm just joking. I went,
You
oh
see
my
the
god,
camera shaking around, and
right,
then
right. It's
the
like,
feed
well,
cuts
sorry,
out.
gotta go. um, Pretty much in your just in your opinion, even though all this stuff has been going on with this property, would you go back again?
No,
No. Okay.
I don't think I'd be allowed to go back. Um, I'd go back if there was new owners and they were very transparent, stuff like that. But no.
Okay. So as far as you're concerned, the trust is broken and you're done.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. It's not even just that really. Mainly it's the coming after my friends because they haven't really came after me other than blocking me and deleting my comment.
Right.
But yeah, coming after my friends, it's like no, Like, you're not going to get business out of
It's
me.
just
You're not going to get a
ridiculous.
promotion out of me. Like, whenever I do release my videos, like, it's not going to be in favor.
Right. Well, no, yeah, I mean, it's uncalled for. Like I said, I ended up because of the video that I put up, and then next thing you know, I've got this guy messaging me. I'm thinking, who the hell are you? And so I answered him the best that I could, being very polite. And then, of course, but then I messaged Joe and told him what happened. And he says, "What's his name?" And I told him, he says, "Oh, yeah, he's a big friend of theirs. And he goes on everybody's who has anything to say about it. And he goes after them and defends the owners, whether they're right or wrong, or whatever you said was right or wrong. He goes right after you for it."
Yeah,
So I'm
that's
like,
not
okay.
cool either. That is never how it is. Like, professionally, that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. To do that, and to they encourage it. And like, the problem
Publicity.
is there is no defamation or anything going on, because for defamation you have to lie.
Yeah.
And if you show documents and say this is what we found, this is what you have, and it's wrong and you're lying, you're scamming people. If that's the case, I'm not saying that is the case, but I don't like hearing all this bullshit about lawsuits, lawsuits, lawsuits. It's like,
Well, that's the first
why
thing
are
they
you
run
trying to
to.
scare people? Why
Right.
why are you being like that? Anybody that's professional about it and truly wants to seek, like, the truth should be like, "Oh wow, that's good information. Let me find out," and blah blah blah.
Right.
And they don't necessarily have to agree with it, but at least they can reword things and, tell other people that wrote books or whatever, for instance, and be like, "Hey, found out this is wrong," and it'd be good for everybody. But instead,
Right.
there's, oh, we have NASA scientists showing up here. It's like, okay, people are like, what'd they say? They said that it was and they're claiming that these scientists are saying that it's like this and that.
Right.
I highly doubt that. I know somebody that's very much into science, and that's not how they talk.
Right. So see, the thing is, they don't know who you know, so they're doing it as a scare tactic.
Yeah, I agree, and
And yeah, and
that's
like he says, they don't like the questions that you ask. Oh well, I think those are pretty general questions. You're paying money to investigate. They swear and say they have all of this documentation and all these photos, and well, can you share them with us so that we can have them for what we're doing? And then, well, no, you can't have them. Well, why not? I mean, it's supposed to be public information. Why
yeah,
wouldn't you be
and
willing to
again,
share?
there's claims that they do have this information. They might, but they're not showing it. And if they have it, there's got to be some other way for somebody else to find it. And to hold it hostage like that doesn't help anybody. So it doesn't make any sense, because it doesn't help you. Because regardless, if someone's looking into it, they still can't find it if you're the only one that has this. So wouldn't you want to help out the house and be like, hey, here's the proof?
Right. Here it
I
is. I'd
found
have it
it.
framed on the wall.
Put your watermark all over it,
Right. Put it,
so
like I
that
said,
whenever it gets shared,
yeah, you put it
yeah,
right there in the doorways. You'll walk in, say, "This is the documentation." Because a lot of places I do know, like historical places, they have like the glass cases and they have all of the original documents and photographs so that you could see all of this. So that you know that the story fits the property and the home and the people. And so if they have that, then that's what they need to do, produce that, show it, so people don't question them. Like, okay, this photo doesn't match up with your story, or this story doesn't match up with this property, and there's just too many questions.
yeah. Even if you share it online, just do something so that if somebody takes it, they can't claim it's theirs. And hey, here it is. This is the
Right.
proof that you're looking. I don't see how it's beneficial to hold it hostage. I really don't.
Yeah,
It
you're
doesn't
right.
make any sense. Never heard of that. Never heard of, oh, well, I have it, but you can't have it.
You
You just
can't
have to
look at it.
trust me. Yeah.
Exactly. You have to take my word for it. Now, I wonder, that's what I wonder is maybe you're the only guys that actually questioned. any of this?
No, there's
Every
been a few.
Has there been a
There's been
few?
quite a there's been quite a bit, but they get
Hey, Jeff.
blocked or they get threatened. They have to take their videos down, re-edit them. But the problem is there hasn't been a Joe fucking Vitale.
There you go, and he's
like
gonna get
there,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
to the
just
best of
simple
his
as that.
ability. I know it's a nightmare. You got several people looking for all the same information, and we've tried all avenues. And if it exists, it should be out there. And we haven't found it yet.
Yeah, well, it's not because here's the thing. I have this. I'm not trying to do a shameless plug, but I have this little podcast I do daily, and there's this serial killer in Tennessee who there is no documentation about where he was born, when he was born. The only thing they have is him in an interview saying sometime in like 1949. That late, there should be some sort of documentation, but there isn't. I mean, he's been investigated by the FBI, he's been in prison, this and that.
Right,
Like, he been on death row. Like, where's this information? It just doesn't exist. So sometimes the information just does not exist. Like, this person, you would think, okay, it's the government going after this guy. They're going to find it, right? They're not just
right.
like amateur historians or something. Like, they can't find it anywhere. So it's that stuff does happen. But the fact is, when you're talking about 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, chances are you should be able to find at least something.
So yeah, there is something.
A
If it's
name, at
if it's
least.
real, there is something.
Yeah.
Like you said, arrest records, any kind of stuff like that. You go through that. You go through police records, church records, county records, state records. And
The
if
lady,
it's amazing what the resources out there. So if it's there, you'll find it.
yeah, well, also another instance is the woman who got executed for the conspiracy about Abraham Lincoln. She was married, she ran a boarding house, many businesses. Her husband was a successful businessman. They don't know if her birthday was like May 20th or like May 23rd or something like that, or 1820 or 1823. Like, there's a 3-year gap of when this lady could have been born, and she was
Right.
executed by the government. So it's sometimes you can't find like exact information, but you still should be able to find like the person, even if you can't find the
Yes.
date, the
Yeah, because it's
address,
all
stuff like
there.
that.
You go through the like ancestry.com. They have these things. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, if it's out there, it's and on paper, and if it's real, it'll be on paper somewhere.
Yeah. More, I mean, yeah. I thought it was pretty interesting that late in time, the 1949, that there's no documentation for someone in prison. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, but it's
No.
true. So it made me reevaluate things and be like, sometimes it's not out there, but then again, you still get newspaper clippings. You still get of the person at least.
Yeah, yeah, at least. I mean, like you're nobody. Well, God, I mean, you can go back hundreds of years, thousands of years, and there's some kind of documentation. I mean, my mother-in-law, this was all before computers and all this, was doing the family tree. She traced my husband's family all the way back to William the Conqueror. I mean, so, and that's documentation all the way back. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that somebody from the 1930s or 40s, there's no documentation?
With kids, like,
Right.
this and that. It's just strange. Not saying they don't exist. We just haven't found them. Is
Or,
or certain
possibility,
people
name
have been found.
changes. They change their name, their identity. So that could be causing problems with connecting with some information that you guys have.
Right. Like, we're not. None of us are saying that.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
None of us are saying that they don't exist or that this and that. It's just simply
Or when
where.
somebody's called by like a nickname or something, it's hard to trace somebody with a nickname. or they're not using their first name and they're going by their middle name and their last name. So that screws
Right.
up a lot of things too. It's just such a mess.
Yeah, I mean, there's one specific person I found uh, for a separate thing that, on historical records and stuff, it's just like A is their first name and then their last name. But then, you keep digging and you find this and that, and then you end up finding out their full name off of like a tombstone or something like that.
Right.
So sometimes you just have to dig harder, but,
And
you
try
know,
unconventional means sometimes because
yeah.
there's so many circumstances and when doing the research. And I mean, back then, a lot of people, well, way back, like in the 1800s and all that, there was a lot of people that couldn't read or write. So they would just, mark stuff with an X. So now you've got to, figure that out. And then you have to go by family members. And what's Joe saying here? We know the names of two stepsons that allegedly ran the house as a brothel, gambling den, and bootlegging. So, but I
Yeah,
heard
Joe
that
and
you hear
Dawn
that about
and
the house, but then you hear it about the hotel. So go ahead, Joe. Was what?
like, Joe, Dawn, everybody that's been involved in like research have done like amazing work. It's pretty crazy the amount of stuff that they found or haven't found, or the avenues that they've went through. Like this hasn't been just like a weekend project that they have 5 years to try to figure it out. Like
Right.
they're doing all the work, and it doesn't make any sense.
It's well, no. I mean, you do you look and you look and you'll end up, and then by the time you get to a certain point, you realize, okay, this isn't even the right people. So you're starting over again. You have to backtrack.
Yep. Because
Because
there's a lot of people with very common names,
the
and
same
a
name,
lot of
yes.
people came over to Texas around then
Yep.
from the Midwest and everything. So there's overflows. There's a lot of people all over the place, but something that got found out pretty recently, I'm not going to talk about, is really cool. I can't wait till everybody sees it because it's a doozy.
Uh-huh. So a
Gonna
little bit of a
tease
dangle in the
everybody.
carrot there a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right. Gives everybody something to look forward
Joe's
to.
gonna. I don't know when Joe's gonna release something, but or if he's gonna, but uh, yeah, we were talking about it the other day, and it's pretty cool.
So,
So there is headway.
yes. I don't know. It might be something I already know. So I don't know.
Yeah, you
We'll
might.
see. No, but I won't. I don't say. So
No, it's not like anything crazy. I just, again, I don't want this stuff to get taken down. I also don't want
right.
people to have time to lie, come up with this and that.
Right. Well, we haven't said anything that was definite. It's just going on
Right.
fact and research. And there's nobody should have a complaint.
I will be the happiest person in the world. I'm not kidding. If they prove me wrong about everything, prove me wrong, and you will get the greatest review,
There you go.
all of that. Like, that's all I want, is prove me wrong, please. Like, but
Yeah, they're
because
not
I'm
going
not
out of the way
against
to
it.
do
I'm
that.
not against it. I'm not against it at all. I'm for it. Like I want there to be I I'm probably a little annoying to everybody because they'll tell me something and I'll be like, oh, I don't know, like because I'm for it. I try to be as unbiased, and so does everybody else. I try to be as unbiased as possible. I'm
Right.
like, no, I need to know for sure. I need to, I
Right. Before you can make your final decision on the whole situation. Yeah, you have to have everything all together. And unfortunately, that
yeah.
takes a long time. And then even with all the research that everybody's doing and putting stuff together, I don't think you're ever really going to find everything that you're looking
I mean, yeah, there's not everything, just despite you know popular belief, not everything is out there. There is a lot of missing stuff. There is a lot of people that just I mean, there's plenty of people that in like Colorado just decided, hey, I'm gonna like leave my horse tied to this tree with a note saying that I ended my own life, and then they'll just go move to Utah. That happens all the time. They change their
Right.
name and then, oh, well, I don't have any of this information. Okay, well, here, when's your birthday? They make it up.
Right.
That kind of stuff did happen. So, like, not everything's out there, but so it researching, like, one thing for sure is I got a lot of respect for some of these historians that find all this stuff.
It's
Because
hard.
how? Yeah.
It's a lot of work. And today, it's a lot easier. Like I said, when my mother-in-law was doing the family tree, it was years of sitting at the library looking through microfilms and papers. And I says, "You're crazy." She found out everything, but it took years to put the book together. And that was
Right.
just one side of the family. That wasn't even the other side. So I said, "Yeah,
That's
I don't."
awesome, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's just awful. It's just awful lot of hard work. And if it's something that you're into, it whiz goes microfilm. Yeah. You sit there at that machine, you turn the crank, and you got to look through all that stuff. It was awful.
I think I seen that on Stranger Things when they were looking at old newspapers.
Yes. That's what that was. And that's what we had back then. And now a computer, it's great. You just type in something and poof, all that stuff comes up. And
I recently had somebody try to come after me, and I don't know what it was about. I don't know who they are. And they were saying that a location I went to that I was lying and that like none of this information was real, none of these people were associated with the house. And I hadn't done this research in like 8 months, and everything was already deleted that I found because I didn't think I needed it anymore. And I was like, oh my God, like now I have to go find this. And I literally found it in like 5 minutes, more than what I had 8 months ago, to be
right,
completely honest. In like 5 minutes, I found everything, addresses, like it was crazy. And I'm telling this person, like, hey, um, like these people's families are still alive, these people's like blah blah blah. Please stop commenting on the YouTube video, these people's full names
oh
and
yeah,
like they're past. I'm like, please stop. Like DM me. I will give you this information you're looking for, but I'm
yeah,
not gonna publicly say it.
right.
And there's a reason why in the video I say I can't dive into too many details and why I don't give full like uh like the full story and everything even though like I don't lie about anything, I kept most of it private because just out of respect.
Well, sure. Well,
And
that's
this
why I don't
person
let
just
do the
kept
here. Nobody. I don't want anybody mentioning names or specific places or stuff like that because, like I said, this way it keeps us out of trouble. Pretty much everybody knows what we're talking about. So as long as we are not outright directly saying a person's full name or space, it's this is a safe space to discuss those things.
Yeah, and so I was commenting back saying like, please DM me, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want.
Right.
I'll give you this information. And then they would just like disappear for like 20 minutes, send a new comment, just ignoring that completely, putting more names out there, more information that was wrong. And then they're like, I'm a professional journalist. Like I do this for a living. It's all public record. And I'm like, you're not like, and I'm not gonna lie, I literally was like, you're not good at it because I found all this information in literally 5 minutes and
Right.
I'm trying to give it to you, but you won't accept it. I'm like, create a fake Instagram account,
Right.
like do so that I don't know who you are. That's fine. Just create like a fake Instagram account, DM me, I'll send you this information right then and there, and
Yeah.
then it's
Sounds like they
over
were
with because I
yanking your
have it all.
chain.
And they just kept going and going and putting like more lies about people that like had died or that their family members are still alive. And so it got to the point I just had to start deleting their comments of these people's names and everything. And I left a comment of my own and was like, hey guys, like if you notice there's missing comments, it's because names. And I for anybody that stumbled across the conversation and be like, oh,
Right.
why do you delete this and that? And I just put in hey, I had to delete it because of names. If you want to know this information, hit me up and I'll give it to you.
There you
But
go.
the person was just back and forth, wouldn't hit me up. And I'm like, don't call me a liar if you're not willing to like get the information.
The
Don't
correct
call yourself
way.
a professional either because they
Right,
suck.
yeah, it was somebody just pulling your chain. I just would have
Yeah.
blocked them. So you don't understand English, forget it. You're done.
Yeah, it was a little annoying, and it was after a bunch of other paranormal drama that had been happening, and it was like I was so frustrated. I was getting like I was trying so hard not to lose my cool. I was like, message me and I will give you this. And they wouldn't. Then they disappeared. So I don't know if they found it or if they gave up,
They probably
but
yeah.
they never messaged me for it. They never, they just wanted to come on and say I was lying.
Jeez, just to stir the pot. Yeah, Phil's right. Sometimes, yeah, if you want the right answer, you'll just get the wrong one. Yeah, so you're corrected. Um, but still, apparently the person was hard headed and didn't realize that he wasn't gonna give that up right on a live or on a video.
Yeah, it was in the comment section of a video from a long time ago.
Right,
And, you know, I hadn't done the, like I said, it was like 8 months. I hadn't done the research. And like some of these people, I didn't even remember like their last names, but I still found everything, screenshotted everything, screen recorded everything, and hey, here it is. And they're like, you're a liar, they're never associated with the house or even the town. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I have it, like I have the actual address connected to a person's name, which is, I'd never found that before.
right.
Like usually you get a name, but I had never found that before, and I was actually kind of excited to show it off to them. I was like, hey, check it out, you're
Yeah,
wrong, I
yeah, I
have it.
found it. I mean, that makes you you get all
Yeah.
happy about that.
Yeah, and
The
then I
beauty
was
would
like,
be
man,
what's going on now with you guys, and all of us that are doing the looking up there. If we could actually find a living family relative, and see if they have any of the history of the house and the people that live there, that would just
that would
be
be the easiest,
that would be great.
because more than likely, I mean, here's the thing: if somebody hit me up about like my great grandfather or something, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to tell them nothing. I'm not going to be able to show any pictures. Really, the furthest I got is my grandma and grandpa, like pictures of them and like their my great aunts and uncles. Like, so I wouldn't be very good at that. But a lot of people, there's like that one person in their family that does all that and does all these connections and
Right?
finds these old pictures and all that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know
if
how
you could,
they'd
you
feel
get the
about,
like the family historian, you could,
yeah.
latch on to somebody like that. In this case, that would just that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and they probably wouldn't be very happy either because they'd probably find out there's a lot of slander about their family.
Yeah.
City
Um,
Hall Vault have great research info. Is that a website? Or are you saying the
you'd have to go to
city?
like the city hall. Um,
And they don't have everything either. And there is things about fires, but there's also half the information is post fire, so doesn't really
right.
make sense either. But
Well, like here, when we're searching for stuff like that, you go to like the county building because they have all like public records
yeah,
and all of that stuff. Courthouses, and yeah, libraries, like Dom says. City Hall, you get certain information, but I think more family history. I think you're going to find pretty much probably in like your county and state offices and the church records, because the church, they wrote down everything. Who was what, when they got married, when they got baptized. They knew where these people lived and everything that was going on.
yeah.
Because back at that time, it was very popular and very important that the church was involved in the family life and goings on in the town.
Well, yeah, and then like when people were like about to die, most of the time they didn't go to hospitals. That's like somewhat of a new thing, within the last like 100 years, less really. So a lot of times they just have like the priest come to the home and hang out there and sign, the death certificate or the, you know, time of
Right.
death.
Yeah, you're right, Carla. A lot of it isn't found online. You have to do, digging in like the little back offices. Or like I
Yeah,
said,
I mean,
the church had everything. They knew everything. So if you could get them to open up and let you look at records, which most of them
Yeah, the
do.
problem is they're very secretive too. They don't,
Yeah,
they
it
don't always like to.
depends.
Yeah.
Because yeah, well, we went through that because I had family members that were trying to look up my father's side of the family, and it's all Europe area, and that was all during the war, and so they actually sent priests over from here to priests there in Poland and in Germany, and to go through the churches, and that they said that no, we can't help you. They wouldn't do it. So I don't know if it's a fear of something. I don't know, but yeah, they wouldn't
Probably
help.
just privacy, I'd think.
I don't know because well, back then during the war there, a lot of things were damaged. There was a lot of fear.
Stolen.
The
Yeah.
older people are still afraid. I mean, I had a great aunt who was afraid until she died that they were going to come back here to the States and take her back there. So I mean, that's how much the
Yeah.
fear is ingrained in those people.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you don't know what's going on, but usually, yeah, church is really a good resource if they're willing to help out.
Yeah, for sure. And when you're not family, it'd probably be 10 times harder too.
Yeah, because they're
Excuse
going to
me.
be, well, why do you want to know? And
Yeah.
we can't give you that because you're not a family member.
Yeah.
Carla says I found a lot of old articles and research in museums. Yes,
Yeah,
especially for
my
an incident, a home that old, that you guys have been in. I mean, that home's been there a long time. There could be some things in, like, the historical society or museum.
well, the historical society, they did help with a bunch, but not in favor of the home
Right.
necessarily.
I did hear, yeah. They did give their opinion. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
hi,
exactly.
Dotson.
Because, imagine you're running a historical society and you're a real historian, and then in your same town, somebody's saying, well, they're liars. They're out to get us, and it's like they're a historical society. They're not getting paid by debunkers or something. Like,
Right. What purpose would you have? Oh, come on here. I'll give you a 50. I mean, come on. It's just,
yeah,
they have nothing to gain, but, to try to ruin the reputation of the home. Their job is to
right.
keep the records, the true records, not make up
Mm-hmm.
stuff, for profit.
Exactly. Yeah,
People are nuts.
definitely.
But yes, they are. They are great resources. Um, and it's usually where you're going to find the truth because they have it all documented. And
They're
when you
good
get
at
other
it
people that
too.
make up stuff, they say, well, we had our own historians. Well, why would you get a historian from the outside, to take care of information on, like, like, say, your house? Oh, well, we hired somebody from the outside to do the research. That doesn't even make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I could see hiring someone to, validate it, I guess, if you really are paranoid that they're out to get you or something, but I mean, there's going to have to be proof involved, and
Yeah. And that's they're not
not
yeah,
seeing
they're
it.
not providing it.
Not seeing it at least.
Just a big hot mess, and then they get mad when you guys start digging. So I look at
That's the
this.
biggest thing. It's weird. I don't get why trying to find, honestly, I would look at it as hell yeah, they're trying to help. They're trying to find this stuff. But for some reason it's not, which is sketchy.
There you go. There, the red flags. Too many red flags. And that's why they're blocking everybody, threatening the suits and all of that stuff, because they're going to be found out. And then, what happens then? Everybody going to go
Nothing.
after them for, hey, well, we want our money back because you're frauds, or, everybody's going to
I
start
doubt
suing
it.
them. I don't know. I just,
Here's the thing. I've said this before. There's more ghost hunters out there that don't know that things like the DR60 are broken than do know. So I do see a lot of people saying things like, "Oh, well, you have to know by now," and it's like, well, um, so it doesn't matter if the video
Hi,
gets a
Steph.
100,000 views or something, and
Right,
everybody is sitting there going, "Oh my gosh!" Like, if they get called liars, oh my gosh, they're lying. If it has 100,000 views, let's just say, there's more people that have seen bullshit about it than will have seen the truth about it. So nothing
right.
is going to change at all. People are still going to want to go there. So
Yeah, that's just the way it
at least
goes, I
it'll be out
guess.
there, though.
Yeah, it'll be out there so they can make their own decision. Hi, Tyler. What's going on? Hi, Parasolo. Who did I miss? I think I missed the Phantoms of Yore. Hello, welcome, welcome, everybody. Yeah, so it's like it's the same thing like with the Conjuring disaster. I call it the Conjuring saga. Everybody's going to make up their own minds about it. It is what it is, and even if people, oh, they might be upset about what's being said or what supposedly is going on, but they're still going to go because it's an experience and it's something that they've looked forward to. So I don't see any kind of issue with that changing because the owners got to stick up her ass. I just
Yeah, that whole thing is a nightmare. All I'll say about that is I don't think anybody deserves to be like abused
right.
at their workplace at all, no matter who you are. So,
I mean,
and based
did you
on
get
what
to
I
watch
saw,
that?
the live stream,
Yeah, did you watch that?
yeah,
Yeah.
I watched most of it, and then I had to stop because then I went live on my
Oh,
channel, so I
that's right.
didn't see
That's
all of
right.
it, but
Yeah,
I did see most of it.
that's right. Yeah, I think I would have. I know it was supposed to be their side so they could defend their position, but I don't know. I think it would have been a little bit more interesting. Of course, the woman wouldn't have done it. Had her on there as well. So there they are,
I
all
feel like
face
there
to
would have been a
face.
lot of muting.
Probably, probably. But at least
I
she's
don't think
there
so though.
with them,
I
and then they could, hash it out.
Well,
But
I don't think it'd be fair. I think that she got to go out there and say her side to a pretty large audience. So now they get to go out there and say their piece to a pretty large audience. So now that they both got to separately say things and show, because she showed no proof, they did show proof.
yeah,
So I think it's pretty settled. But now, since they both got to go on their own and say things, if they wanted to do it together, then yeah. But
sure, kind of like a
I think
debate
that
type of a
first
thing.
one definitely she didn't need to be there
Which
because
one?
the Jason's live stream. Like I don't think she
Oh,
needed to be there. But if they wanted to do it again, then yeah, sure, because each of them got to say their
say their
piece,
piece, right?
and now you can argue together if you want. But the poor lady, you know, I just I kept thinking like there's something wrong. I'm not defending her at all. I think honestly she's kind of a piece of shit, but um there's it did make me sad like reading those. Like, what's wrong? Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you being like that? So, I don't
Right.
know.
Well, one of
Hopefully
my
she
questions
gets
was,
better.
does anybody know about maybe she's got mental health issues, or maybe she has some kind of substance abuse issues that nobody knew about. Um,
And I don't know much about this, so please
I
don't
don't.
attack me, but like doesn't menopause kind of put you into those crises where you
Well, you
can
can
be
have
an
your
asshole?
days. Yeah, yeah, you can have your days where you're an asshole.
So,
But
and she's, not a spring chicken.
but for what they
So,
said on the live, that it was a constant thing where she was very mean,
and that's not how it is.
to the employees and to the visitors. So I don't, we weren't there, so we don't know. But I
Yeah,
just,
I don't know anything about menopause, but like I was trying to sit there and be like, why? And I was trying to figure out, okay, is it just mental issues? Is it, like you said, substance? Is it like menopause maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's
who could be? Who
something that
knows?
was undiagnosed, and then the stress of running a business just put her over the edge. Who knows? But
Yeah.
it's not cool regardless.
There's more to it. Dawson's getting canceled.
Yeah, I don't have any right to talk about
Excuse
menopause.
me. Yeah, so well, according to them, yeah, she didn't pay them for the loss, the stuff that was in the barn. Carla says,
Yeah, hey, like
menopause
I
doesn't
said, I don't
really
know.
make you
That's
mean.
just what I
Well, no,
heard.
it could. It depends on who you are.
I mean, isn't it a lot of hormones? You know, it
Yeah,
affects everybody differently. You know,
yeah. So yeah, it does. It affects everybody
I'm
differently.
not
There's not,
blaming it on a woman problem. I just wanted to be clear.
but
I
it
was
could be
trying
one
to
of the issues. Who knows? You know.
could be part of an issue too. You know,
Yeah, it could be. Let's see, Dawson told her, "You're not saying menopause because this not." I don't.
just know.
Uh, she's just been taken over by the top shelf spirits. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. That's what I'm saying. We just don't know the backstory of her issues and her problems, and but it's still not an excuse. You know,
It's not. Yeah.
Steph goes, "Don't encourage him, Laura." It was big. Oh man, I'm a scientist. Yeah, yeah. Oh God, that's funny. That's right. I remember that. But hey, there's all many factors. Who knows? But that was one of my concerns. Maybe she's got some kind of underlying mental thing going on, or like I said, some kind of substance abuse thing going on, or maybe she's just an asshole. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, sometimes it's just that simple.
Maybe
Just
you're just an asshole.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Carla,
You
right?
know.
No reason to be a shitty human being, but that's how they work. And from what they were saying, she had a lot of like a lot of narcissistic tendencies, so they could be part of
Yeah.
it too.
I didn't see all of it. I did see like some of the text messages and all that, and some of the stories and accusations, and you know, I think when people accuse you of doing something you didn't do, you're gonna get pretty mad. So
Oh yeah.
I'm all for what he said.
So yeah, I agree. It's and yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing in entirety because after a while I'm like, all right, I've had enough. It's I was following it little by little, but I wasn't really involved. And I just had the one video where we come out and said, let's just, get this out of the way. And um, but as far as I'm concerned, whatever it is, and good luck to all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be nice if she could be like a better person and everybody could move on and blah blah blah. But
yeah.
wish
And
the
the thing is, I hope it
best.
doesn't ruin, you know, chances for other people to go and enjoy, the experience.
She does seem like the type of person to me that if she got, and this is opinion, by the way, that if she got like super mad in one of those fits that that she clearly wrote that post in, that she'd call up a bulldozer company to come knock the house down. Well, fine, nobody, nobody. I could see it, which would suck.
Well, I was thinking if she did have issues, like I said, with some kind of substance abuse or whatever, and she's on a tangent, then you got to worry about the house getting set on fire, seeing that the barn burned up.
Set on fire, torn
Right.
down, windows smashed out, anything.
Hi, Angelina. Welcome. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's as far as I'm concerned, like you said, each side had their say. Of course, we'll find out eventually through other people who are actually following it bit by bit, what happens, the outcome. But they just need to all
Yeah,
just
I don't
cut
really
it
care about
loose.
it too much. I think
Just cut it
it's like
loose.
sucks for the people, but yeah, whenever that live stream was over, that was the last time I thought about it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
pretty
whatever.
same. Yeah, just it is what it is, and all you
Yep.
can do is just wish them well.
Yep, exactly.
Julie doesn't want you to talk about menopause ever again.
I'll talk about it every day just for
He-
that. Nah, I'm just kidding.
He'll have to hit it
Uh,
someday when he's got himself, a lady, and it's her turn to go through menopause. Then he'll see.
I mean, I'm not saying that the what Ian said isn't possible, but I
Exactly.
mean, I don't think so. But I mean, when you live in a house like that, the stories, the this and that, like, who knows?
Hi, Mike. Yeah, who knows? Like I was saying here, what is wisdom says? She seems to me like she'll turn it all around to sweep it under the rug by tearing down the place. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could genuinely see that. Like, it is kind of like sad that I can see just in a fit of rage just doing that.
Now, my question is it classified as a historical home?
I don't think you can privately own a historical,
Well,
like, one
here we
that's
can.
okay.
You can,
Yeah, I
and if
didn't know
you
that.
have to make sure you keep it up to standard and to code, and you're
Right.
not allowed to tear it down or change colors or this and that. It has to be kept up to the historical code. So that's
Accuracy.
yeah. So I was wondering if it was listed or marked down as a historical home or place or homestead, um, then
I
she
don't I,
couldn't tear it down.
I don't know. I mean, it's been there since like what, the 1600s or something like that. Like it's
Mhm.
a really really old house, so it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that, but I mean, doesn't mean it isn't.
Oh, Angelina, yeah, she goes, yes, it is. Okay, see,
Okay.
I don't know what the standards are or the rules uh, in Rhode Island are, so I don't. So she goes, yeah, it
Yeah,
is. It's a
so
historical
well, that's
location,
good. She can't tear it down
so then she
then.
can't.
Doesn't mean she couldn't burn it down, but don't throw any ideas out there to her.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Stephen Dobb said yes, because we have a town here. It's called Camden and called the Queen City, and the majority of the homes are historical homes, and you can own them, but you have to put in. You want to do any kind of upkeep or whatever, you have to go through actually through the government, and then they tell you what you can and cannot do. I think you can only use certain contractors. Everything there's really strict regulations.
Right.
So maybe that's the one thing that will save it is she can't do that kind of thing to it.
Yeah. Let me go get my charger real quick.
Okay. Our whole area has 300. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So she can't. It's a good thing she can't. Be angry and well, I'm just going to bulldoze the place down. Yes,
Well,
Des.
that's
Yeah,
good at least.
yeah. You have to follow the codes that go with the area and the home.
Yeah. I don't. I at one point I wanted to go there, and then it seemed like it was being done a lot, but I didn't think it was necessarily being overdone. And then when Sam and Colby went for a week, when they announced they were doing that, everybody and their brother was going to the Conjuring house and releasing a video, in hopes that it'd get caught in the suggestions of their video and to get views and all this and that. So yeah, now it's just way overdone, and
Yeah.
I don't care to go there. I don't care if you know it really was the most haunted place. I just think it's been so overdone. It's just a little house. There's only so much you can do, you know?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's well, no, that would be nice. A lot of everybody's doing the same things. And I've been hearing this from a lot of people I talk to that they want you guys to go out and do places that we haven't heard of.
They want that, but then
New
you
experiences.
have to do big places. A lot of people are,
Yeah,
oh, well, we're tired of the big places. It's like, well, you may not have found out who I was without the big place, or
right.
you know, of course you need to balance it and not just, hey, I'm going to go to every like one of the most famous places just on repeat. Like, fit in those smaller places. Most of the places I've been to, I never heard of anybody going to until like after I went, or like right before I went, I had it booked for 3 months, and then some like big YouTuber does it, and I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was about to do it, you know?
Right. It's like, damn. Yeah, Angelia says we have tons of where'd it go? I missed it. Oh, tons of places, unheard places in Massachusetts. Same thing. I heard that same thing. Dom, Canada's loaded with places to go that nobody's even heard of here in the States. So that
Right.
would be great if people would start, pumping out something like that. And then I heard something about maybe I could be wrong. They were going to be open up Alcatraz for tours. So I
Oh,
was
they've
wondering if
already been doing that.
have they been doing that? I was wondering if you would be allowed to, pay to do investigations there.
Yeah, they've let people do that for a long time, but you know it's one of those things where that's not their like main money making stream. So
Right.
like you still have to go and like just do like a regular tour, but if you want to go there, you can email them and they do have like prices and schedules and this and that, but that's like a dream location. I've wanted to go to Alcatraz even before like paranormal like stuff. Like I've always wanted to go there. I'm obsessed with the movie Escape from Alcatraz. Like I'm
Yeah, they're
obsessed with the
good.
story. I think they made it. Like so like that's a place that I would love to go to.
So yeah, well that we would love to see it.
Uh
It's
Nightmare Nation, we don't have anything necessarily like scheduled, but we are going to do something soon. I did reach out to another creator that hopefully me and Tyler will be able to film a video with them. Joe, you know, we got the Hill House, and then maybe soon we'll go to that Lake Shawnee amusement park because I really want to go there. Tonight, I might, you know, leave and go to Illinois, and then tomorrow do a place in Indiana that is unheard of. There's
nice. There
been
you
one.
go. That's what
There's been
people
a few
want.
people that have went recently that are a little bigger, but it's not like any huge channel, just you know larger channels than me that have went there. Um, you know, I do a lot of unknown.
There we go. Just got to get it out there, guys. Just got to just keep checking out Dawson's videos, and we'll get to see the unknown. So,
Yeah,
the
I
famous
don't.
places are nice too, but it's great because when you're going to an unknown place and then we get to see it, it's like we're doing it together. So you don't know what you're going to find or what it looks like,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
and with the video in Tombstone, I don't think anybody's ever filmed a video there. I mean, I doubt any of you guys had even heard of that place. So that was pretty cool too because nobody's ever really heard of it. But at the same time, since nobody's heard of it, nobody's looking it up to find my video, you know? So
right, right. So you just got to keep pushing it out. So yeah, let's talk about
yeah,
that. Let's talk about your trip and all the places that you got to go to. It's a shame. I wish I knew that you were there sooner because I have family out there that does paranormal investigations, and they probably could have hooked you up with some stuff.
that would have been nice. Yeah, it was a very last minute thing. I didn't have money to go back to Illinois to drop my daughter off and cuz my job like hadn't paid me for like 3 weeks. And so my family, they had already paid for everything. They're like, "Why don't you guys just come on the vacation with us?" So, you know, we left from Tennessee and we we drove, you know, to Texas and that well, we went up to Oklahoma and everything and we basically took 66 and we visited, you know, a bunch of I love the movie Cars. It's such a good movie. We visited a bunch of cool places that like we visited Ramones, like the real life inspiration for Ramones, the paint
Right.
shop, like we visited the Wigwam, which is, you know, the cozy cone and Cars. We did a bunch of cool like Route 66 stuff and then um I'm trying to think. I did a lot of driving, but I also did a lot of like I was doing research on my phone and everything, so I wasn't really paying attention. But yeah,
Right.
then we saw the Grand Canyon for a little bit. That was cool. Just I don't know. I didn't understand. I don't know. I'm a sucker for like cool places, but when I seen the Grand Canyon, I was like, it's just a big hole.
I know,
You
that's what
know,
I
I
think
wasn't
too.
I wasn't like, oh my gosh, like this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I was looking like I'm trying to see if there's an animal all the way down there or something, because
Right.
it's like,
Just don't
where
get
we
too
could
close to that
see.
edge.
Yeah, it was like 7 miles, but it doesn't look like 7 miles. But everything is like blurry or like cloudy because it's so far away. It was like a little weird, but it wasn't that crazy.
Right. Yeah, it's like, oh, I seen it on TV. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, I
Thank
saw a
you,
bunch of
Skylar. Thank
people.
you very much. We hope we go big too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on my phone, so I had to look forward to read what she said. Yeah, I do too. I hope everybody that's in it for the right reasons
I just hope everybody
grows
enjoys what we're
massive.
doing. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. Yes, if we could do, get larger and then, have a broader audience so that they can enjoy what we're doing. But pretty much, yeah, I do this because I enjoy doing it and I enjoy hearing your stories and your adventures. I don't get to investigate as much anymore because of my disabilities. So, I got to live through you guys and hear their stories. I do get out once in a while, but not as much as I like to.
Yeah, that I I don't do it nearly as much just because the way everything is and like things are so expensive.
Yes.
Um but when we went to Tombstone, yeah, like I didn't even know that it was supposed to be a haunted place. And so I started looking it up and everything because we weren't going to get there until like 2 a.m. because we stayed for 2 nights. So the first night we weren't going to get there till like 2 a.m. So I called them to like let them know because if you don't know this, in Tombstone, like nobody stays there. Like they
Right.
go home. Like every hotel, like restaurant, business, like nobody stays there. They go home. So if you're not there by like 8 o'clock, you're just not getting into your hotel room. So you have to like call ahead and have them put it somewhere or to give you a code or whatever. And so when I was looking up to call them, I like saw a review or something that said like it was haunted, and I'm like, really? So then I started looking up more reviews, and then I started looking up the hotel, and there's people that were claiming that it was haunted, not just reviews but other websites. So the next day, whenever there was an employee actually like in the office, in there's like 20 people in Tombstone while we were there. Like
Right.
it's their dead season. There's nobody there. Like over half the shops just weren't even open because it's just
Wow.
not busy. So I went in and I was talking to the manager and I was like, "Do you really believe this place is haunted?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, and he showed me a couple pictures that were probably nothing, but and he was like, I've had experiences. He's like, I don't tell people it's haunted, but people have checked out and told me weird things have happened, and I didn't even mention that it was haunted and this and that. So I was like, oh, what's the most haunted room? And was it a creepy area? Tombstone? It was a little weird seeing it with like no people. Like
Right.
I've never been there, so like I don't know what it usually looks like, but um, it was a little creepy how there's like nobody
It's kind of
around.
like, yeah, you're the only people left on the planet. That kind of
Yeah, the
feeling.
it always felt like somebody was gonna come out from around the corner, but so I asked the guy, the manager, I was like, what is there like most haunted rooms or is it everywhere and blah blah blah, and he told me the most haunted room, and it was like 4 rooms down from my room, and I was like, and he just like gave me the key, and I was like, what? And then he grabs 2 more keys and hands them to me, and I'm like, what's what? I was like, I hope you know, like I'm not paying for 3 extra rooms, like I
Right.
don't have that. And he's like, no, just don't touch anything so we don't have to like re-clean it and all this and that. And he's like, go ahead. He's like, investigate it. And I was like,
It's
seriously? I
awesome.
was like, I don't have to pay any money. And he's like, no, go ahead. He's like, just whenever you check out tomorrow, like put the keys in the mailbox or whatever. And I was like, okay.
It's great.
Yeah, it was
Get
pretty
that
cool.
chance very often.
Yeah. I tried to do this one store, and the guy was outside, and I was talking to him, and hey, you ever have an experience here? It was like right by the OK Corral, and we were just bullshitting really, and he's like, I'll tell you right now, like he's seen a kid and this and that, and I'm like, that's pretty crazy. I'm like, have you ever had anybody investigate it? And he's like, yeah, there's been a few Arizona like paranormal teams that have. I was like, do do you guys do investigations? He's like, no, but like if you ask the owner, he'll let you. And I was like, can I ask the owner? And he was just like, he's like, oh, I'll give him a call or whatever. And he just wouldn't do it. Like he wouldn't even like let me do it.
Right,
So that one was a bust because I was hoping after I did the 3 rooms or before, whatever, I could go over there
right.
and do another place, but that one didn't work out. So I'm not complaining though. I'm not trying to be like selfish, like, oh, I couldn't do 4 places.
What's up
Like,
with that?
yeah, what the heck, man, everybody's out to get me. Like, I was
Oh,
grateful for what I got, but
that's great.
yeah, it would have been cool. I was on live stream and I was walking by the Birdcage Theater. I just smelled like somebody smoking, and I was like, there's nobody around. What the hell? So then, like, I was walking, I turned a corner, and there was like some person sitting in the dark on a bench smoking a cigarette. And this was like, I don't know, like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, oh, I thought you were a ghost or something. They're like, nah. And I was like, okay. And I just kept walking.
No, just the local.
Yeah. Well, oh, yeah, either that or like, because the only place that's open, like, up until like I think 2 a.m. is the bar. Like there's one
Of
bar.
course.
So yeah, but like Wyatt Earp's like nephew was there and uh something like that
That's
at the
cool.
bar. I didn't go to the bar though, but my mom texted me and she's like, "Get up here." And I was just like,
Yeah.
I think
It's
at that point I was investigating, so my phone was in like do not disturb.
oh,
And so I didn't see it. So I didn't get to meet this guy that I said to my mom, I'm like, he's probably just trying to get some ladies. And my mom's like, no, he was there with his wife. So apparently Wyatt Earp's grandson was there when I was, or
wow. That
nephew.
would have been actually that would have been great to add to your video. And look who we ran
Yep.
into.
Yeah, I didn't meet him. I was too busy being a stupid ghost hunter.
That's when your mother should have hooked it up and started
Yeah.
filming. Then
Yeah.
you could have put it together. They would have been great.
Yeah. Just as a post credit scene. By the way, guys, I didn't ask to see his ID or his family tree, but
Right.
no, it was cool though. I liked it. We tried to go to this big meteor, like this meteor crater that's in
Right.
like New Mexico, but we didn't know that you had to pay for it because it's just a big hole.
So you, had to, you
And
didn't want to pay for the
yeah,
big hole.
yeah. So when we went up there, we're like, oh, there's a whole center. Like we probably got to pay like $5. And it was like a family owned place and everything, which is like awesome. I think that's really, they're like, we're the only family owned meteor crater like in the United States or something. And I'm like, I don't know if there's that many to where like that's like a special thing, but it sounded cool. And but it was like $55 to go look at the hole.
Oh, are
So
you
we're like
serious?
each. And I was like, no. I was like, okay. So like we left, but I saw some cool stuff, took a bunch of pictures.
$55 to see a hole in the
I don't
ground.
know for sure. It was pretty expensive. I know that there was
It's
because there was like eight
crazy.
of us. Yeah, there was like 8 of us. So it was whatever it was going to be like way too expensive for what we wanted to do. It was just a big hole.
Family owned
Yeah,
crater hole.
yeah. It was
Come
just a
on
hole,
down and see our hole.
So what I did is I just went on Google Earth, and it was a pretty. I didn't think the hole was going to be that big. It was a big hole. I'll tell you that much. So when I went to Google Earth, it was massive. I was like, oh, that actually would have been pretty cool if it was like 2 people. Julie, we couldn't go to Roswell. I was supposed to. I actually forgot about that. There's like wildfires going on or something. People were evacuating. Roads were
Yeah, it's
shut
wicked
down.
hot out there now.
Yeah, and we were worried about like just one wasting a bunch of time, two just not being able to go because the fire, not being able to get like close to anything cool, and really there's like nothing there, so
Right.
we just turned
There's
around.
something I could say about that comment that, that Phil said, but I'm not going to because it's not. It's naughty, but I don't.
50, yep,
50
50
bucks is
bucks.
expensive for
Well,
a
you
hole.
just to look at it, maybe if you could go down in the hole or something.
I don't know. Or I could just come out and say, but does it? Do you get at least a happy ending with it at
Yeah,
$50?
right, yeah, they had like pieces of the meteor and everything, but yeah, Roswell would have been cool. I'm not sure I believe in aliens, but
So yeah, he's right. It is a tourist trap. Yep.
yeah, we did a lot of abandoned places and a lot of places that were like in cars. Uh, like we went to this abandoned like Route 66 like zoo, and apparently the dude got like attacked by a tiger or something, so they had to shut it down. I don't know, but all the like cages were still there, and it was pretty
Oh,
cool. Yeah, we saw a bunch of cool stuff. No, we were gonna go to the petrified forest, but we were all kind of in a pissy mood because we were feeding deer at a petting zoo, and this like big exotic petting zoo thing that had like reindeer and regular deer and like kangaroos and this and that.
right.
And the deer just swarm you. So if you're feeding like this, then they start chewing the back of your shirt, and all of our clothes were ruined.
Oh, yeah. They'll just
Yeah, they're nasty mouths. I was like, man. But so we didn't get to go see the petrified forest, but we did see plenty
TV
of
and
petrified wood.
so yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, I have some pieces from the petrified forest because my grandmother lived in Arizona, and she would always come back or send gifts, and she sent me. I have a few pieces that I have on in a like a little keepsake shelf. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but like we were all tired too, and like our clothes were ruined, and we're like, does anybody really care to go see this petrified forest? And everybody was like, I don't care if we go to the hotel, so we didn't go.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. They're like goats. They'll just keep chewing. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, we fed goats too. There's a cool like parrot thing. Like I think it was a cockatoo, and I was talking to it, and it wasn't really doing anything. And then it did like one thing, and I started like and I was like laughing and pointing. And
right.
apparently, there's a sign right next to me that says if you laugh and point at it, it like does cooler stuff and does tricks, like because like the encouragement or whatever. And once I did that, it started doing like crazy stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this bird loves me. And then I read the sign, and I was like, oh, it was cool.
Wiz wants to know if you was at the Reptile Gardens. He says he remembered you could ride a tortoise there.
I don't think it was. I didn't see any tortoises or anything. We did see this monkey though. There was a monkey, and they're like, "Don't feed the monkey," because they'll like pull your hand through the cage or whatever. I wanted to feed that monkey so bad. It was so cute. It was teasing me too. So I know that sign. I know the
Right.
monkey seems sweet, and then it's like, yeah, and like pulls your
Yeah, they
finger in or
bite. Yeah,
something. Yeah,
they
I was
throw
like,
stuff at
oh,
you. They'll rob your stuff.
yeah, I want a monkey. Do
You
they
know,
talk back to
it's
us?
cute, but the monkeys can be pretty nasty.
Yeah, I'd want like a capuchin or maybe even a spider monkey, but
Evil closet monkey.
I
I want
love
I
that
want a trunk
storyline.
monkey. You guys ever see that thing on online?
I don't think I
The
have.
trunk monkey.
I
I'm not
know
gonna
the
ruin it
easy.
for you, Dawson. Look it up online. Get on YouTube. Look up trunk monkey.
Okay. Yeah, the evil closet monkey, that's from yeah, Family Guy. I like the little storyline they did where like he had a wife and kids in there and all this other stuff. Like
Pretty much, is the trunk monkey is the I forgot how it goes. The security system for your car is pretty much how they're putting it off. But you
Oh,
look it
okay.
up on YouTube and you'll die laughing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look that up after the live stream. Trunk
Uh,
monkey.
Trunk
Yeah, I do
monkey.
need an octopus, but an octopus would probably be my next pet unless it's a goose. Um, but they're just like the octopus itself isn't expensive, but to like get everything to make sure he's happy, he or she is happy, then it that ends up costing a lot of money. And then saltwater tanks have a lot of upkeep, but an
Yes, a
octopus
lot.
is like that shit's gonna happen. I'm gonna get one. Those little aliens.
Do all your research there. They're very difficult to maintain.
Well,
Uh,
they only live for like 5 years too, which is a little
really?
sad because it's like, yeah, because 5 years and then I'm gonna have to like pull them out with like one of those net things. It would be so
Yeah.
sad, Doctor Octopus,
Actually, I had
or
a
he'd be faking it and then
I had
like
a
stick to my face.
freshwater lobster one time. And I was looking forward to it because she was loaded with eggs. And of course, I didn't realize that my heater was broken and we cooked her. We ended up boiling her. I'm like, oh my God.
Did you eat her?
No,
Yeah,
she wasn't that big,
lobsters
but
are.
I'm thinking, oh my God, what the hell happened?
Yeah, fish are cool. I've always wanted to get like a fish tank that has like Dory and Nemo and all them. But there, it's a lot of upkeep. If I was gonna do that, definitely need to have an octopus. Had an octopus are very hard to keep it. Yeah, I'd put like cinder blocks on there, like something. But yeah, they're sneaky and they'll.
It's
I'd
amazing
want
what they
it.
can
I'd
squeeze through.
yeah. I'd want to like train it to be able to like do tricks,
Oh,
like
Joe's
open up
back.
like doors and all that other stuff.
Joe missed all the fresh dog.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just got
Yeah,
a
but
message from Bill. Apparently, it's storming at his house and his basement's flooding. So
oh geez, no.
yeah, so we have rumbling here. So like I said, if we black out, guys, you know what happened to us.
Well, at least have the bathtub cleaned out or something so you have a
Yeah.
safe place to go to. Yeah, so yeah, Tombstone, that was cool. Hopefully maybe I'll film a video tomorrow. Um, fingers crossed. If not, then, you know, I don't know. But then I'll have to start working on the Hill House because I want to give that as much time as possible because I don't have anything right now after Tombstone, so I got to film something here soon so I can
Right.
stick to my schedule. And then hopefully in September, I want to do a Mothman thing. No, everybody, I don't think Mothman's going to show up in my video, but
Oh
uh,
shit.
I
No.
want to I want to do a whole thing, where I go to the festival and then like talk to people and check out all the spots and everything. More or less like an exploring video, but I guess kind of like a documentary type video.
Right. Phantom wants to know Hill House. Wasn't that a Netflix show?
Uh, I think there's
It
a
probably. Well, there's a
show.
movie, right?
It's
Or
not based on that house, so it's the house on Haunted Hill. Would you go with me, Jeff? Because
there you go. He said hit him up.
yeah, dude, I'll go look for Mothman with you.
There you
I do
got
have a
a
passport.
an invitation from Dom to go to Canada.
Yeah, I it's pretty pricey, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he said he would. I definitely, yeah, I'll do Mothman with you. It's the third weekend in September, so take that off because we'll have to go to the festival and then have to wait a couple days for the town to die down and then go do all the places because it's just going to be swarmed with people during the festival, all the sightings. And
Right. All
oh
the
yeah, but Jeff,
information.
you can't bring the demon chicken.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
no.
no ghost chickens. I died laughing. Ghost chickens.
Yeah, I have chickens, so watching that video, the whole time I was like, "Oh."
It's a good thing. Yeah, I know, poor chickens. And it's a good thing that we all know what he's up to, because could you imagine strange people just looking at it thinking, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, well, it's funny because there's probably some people that are watching like, what is this? Like some person that's never heard of him, like, what is
Yeah.
this fakery? That was overlaid,
Yeah.
like
Shadow
he's
chickens, yeah, the demons. He's trying to exercise the demons out of the chicken on the grill.
yeah, that was a really good video. That was
People are thinking, what the hell is this?
I felt like I was watching like a reality TV show. Like I really felt like I was watching a reality TV show, like
Oh, God.
one of those fake reality TV shows, that are
Right,
like
right.
super funny. I felt like that's what I was watching.
Hi, Antone. Welcome. I try to make it so obvious that no one can think it's real. Oh, Jeff, you'll be surprised.
I think that's what some of these other people do, but they get invited to paranormal conventions to be a guest speaker. So I was
What's he
pretty
going on?
disappointed seeing some of those fake
Shit.
people.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's especially when you try so hard to get the real deal out there, and there they are, and they're all sucking up their glory, and it's
Yeah,
frustrating.
yeah. I mean, like Jasco, he was like a head speaker at a convention recently, and there was also like these other like fake mediums and other fake people, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, there's so many people out there that you could have had, but you invite w- somebody that doesn't even half the time doesn't even go to real haunted places.
right.
Like, it just goes to Airbnbs that they rent out in their town or whatever, and then
And
is
then yeah, and
like,
make crap up, and yeah. But see, they're the
that's
ones that get the
embarrassing.
clicks.
Yeah, that's embarrassing for a convention to have like to look at that and be like, "Wow, that's so real." Like how can you run a paranormal convention and look at that and be like, "We need to have him." Like,
We need to bring him on. So, but that's what they do. That's what brings in the people.
I
That's why they do
guess.
it. Because the bigger the crowd, the more you sell. Hi,
Yeah, I
Karen.
guess.
Welcome. Yeah, that's what it is.
You were shocked at
Unfortunately.
the comments? People were commenting like calling you fake for that, Jeff? Were people like I left a comment that was like purposely like funny that made it seem like I believed you. I was just like, please protect yourself after this. I got a really bad vibe from like the third row chicken or whatever. But I didn't say I was kidding. So,
You should have
yeah.
yelled out, like a name or something. I didn't think of that until I just now. Oh my God, you just is it, Fifi or whatever the hell you want to call it. And Joe, you're right. It's what sells tickets. It's where the money is.
Sad.
And that's
Some people still think Mountain was really a twin paranormal member.
yeah, they do.
Just
Uh,
sad.
just you want to just take them and shake them and say, smart up. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
they say that video, people know it's fake. But the first mountain video I did, people really thought that it was the twin. Oh, that's what I'm saying. If people don't know who you are and what you're doing, and then they see that video and they're thinking, what is that guy doing?
Whenever he was cutting the camera and he had him in like the night vision black and white, and he's like, guys, I'm right here. Like
You're
that
right.
shit, that was so funny.
Yeah.
No, seriously, those videos deserve like way more views than they get. I can't believe that. And the idiots, it just shows the idiots on the internet. It really does. Not everybody should be allowed a YouTube channel, I guess, or a YouTube account.
Account. Well, yeah, because then you're like I said, they're looking at it and like, oh, and then they'll share it out. Look at this guy; he's doing an exorcism on his chicken, and I
Yeah,
could see
and
that.
they'll believe it.
I know.
Imagine full production. You could probably steal Twin Paranormal. Yeah, if you had the capital of Twin Paranormal, definitely
Oh yeah. Only problem
just
is that
create
you'd have
like.
to watch out, and then the lawsuits would start flying.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. No, it'd be those goofy people got. Yeah, they
You
did. Yeah,
monetize.
definitely.
Well, good for you. I know.
Hell yeah.
I know. That's the thing. And then you got to watch it after, like what happened with Sarah. Poor thing. All that hard work, and it was just gone. And
Yeah, I missed a lot of that. Um, is it just because like the AI music and everything?
I don't know. She's going to be live tonight. So yeah, I'm going to end this about 9 o'clock because she's going on at 9:30. So hopefully she'll get to explain it so that we all know what's going. I don't even know if she knows why or what's going on.
Right. I know that that was the some people were suggesting that it was the AI thing because they have been like that. That was just my first guess because she didn't do anything that like she has nice videos. Like there's a lot of people that, while I agree with them, they're pretty mean and everything.
Yeah,
And she doesn't do that. So it's not like she should have had any sort of like community guideline strike unless maybe it was the AI stuff, which they allow. You just have to like mark
well,
it or
that's what I'm
whatever.
saying. When you're doing this stuff, why shouldn't there be some kind of pop up that shows up before you even publish the video that oh you can't use this, so you could correct the problem before they nail you for it.
Well,
Um,
it's happened to me before where I've like released a video and then it's perfectly fine, no copyright issues, and then like 7 months later, I get hit with like a copyright strike,
wow.
and YouTube is like, this song that you used is like not a like I got copyright strike, and I'm like, what? Like, did they just now copyright it? Like, it's been out there for 7 months.
Right. There are full AI channels that have, yeah, it's
Yeah,
just, see, I haven't had, because I'm not monetized. So I'm not up there yet with you big guys. So it's,
big
but now
guys.
I'm learning. So I'm thinking, okay, we got to be careful. Um, yeah, she did get the short end of the stick because I was talking with her today, and I think she's going to discuss what's going on. And I'm also going to have her on the 17th, so we can discuss it more, and then she could just school us, and what
Right.
to what to do, what to look out for, and maybe
Well,
it,
YouTube's weird because like way back when I like kind of first started doing ghost hunting stuff, I didn't think I was getting the impressions that I deserved. I still really don't, but I'm not complaining about like my views or anything, but I thought that something should have happened by now where there was maybe a little boost or like a few more suggestions because my videos, like if I go to my analytics, nobody's content suggests my videos. Like if you look at your analytics, it should say like these 5 videos are like the ones that are suggesting it, and mine is always that they're like not available. So
right,
it's weird. And one time I tried to promote a video through like Google Ads, and it got taken down from Google Ads because basically they said ghosts aren't real in a way, like in a really like dumbed down way. They did it all technical, but they're saying like ghosts aren't real, so you can't promote this. And I'm like, I see ads on YouTube all day about people trying to scam people out of like government. They're like, oh hey, just scan this
right,
QR code and you get your free $5,000 from the government. That's actual scamming that they allow. They
exactly,
allow AI Mr. Beast people to like, hey, buy this and then you'll be entered in a contest, and it's not Mr. Beast, but I can't promote my video. So they're weird because like I didn't understand why I couldn't promote like a ghost hunting video.
right,
But my point is, yeah, what Candy just said, um, they are allowed to promote their videos. I know this for a fact because I talked to a location owner one time that told me about a big channel that was there, and that every video they have or whatever, they like immediately do like Google Ads like once it releases, to get like that initial boost or whatever. I don't know if that
right.
helps, but they're allowed to, but I wasn't, which was super. I don't know. I think they kind of pick and choose, and I'm not sure really.
Yeah, says yeah, I don't know anything about any of that yet, but at least now I'm, learning as I go with you guys because I got a long way to go, so I'm not worried about it. But
I mean, you never know. We all start our channels at zero, and you've almost doubled your subscribers since the first time I was on, right?
I think so. I think
I
so.
think you were right under 100 when I first came on.
Uh, I was under 100. I made 100 by my birthday, which was June 17th, and
Okay.
now I'm up to 155.
Heck yeah. See?
So
That's
I
great.
must be doing something right. I don't know. You love me. You
Yeah.
love me. I don't know. It's
They love me. Yeah.
yay. But yeah, I would love to be up to 500. Before Christmas, but who knows? I don't
That'd
want to
be
push my
awesome. Yeah.
luck.
I told myself I wanted 5K by the end of the year. We're already over halfway through the year, so I don't know if it's going to happen, but that is still the goal.
Right.
I'm hoping that I can get to 5K by the end of the year. And thank
Uh,
you, Jeff. I really do appreciate that.
yes. You do a great job. So it's like I said, we all just have to. If it happens, it happens.
I don't think I
Subs and
deserve
viewers.
millions of views. I really
Oh, I
don't.
don't think I'll ever have me at all. But
I don't think my videos are like million view video worthy, but I do think that YouTube needs to throw a bone every once in a while.
something. I mean, make keeping to keep us motivated to continue going. But yeah, a million. I don't ever think I'll ever see that day. But I'm
Yeah, I
happy for
mean,
every single one that I get to keep. Put it that way. So if I stay where I am right now, it's all right.
yeah, that's kind of like I've said that too. I don't I'd rather have like 10,000 subscribers and have like 8,000 of them actually watch me versus having like a million subscribers and getting like 50,000 views.
Right.
Well, you got to appreciate the subscribers and the views that you have, but I like what my goal is like I want like a community that's like
Yes.
always there, which
Yes.
is like hard to do. It's not just as easy as like, hey, this is what I want, so this is what I'm going to get, but
So, well, no, and like I said, you want to have, like you said, your community. So, it's always the people that you enjoy, that's why I try to get as many of you as on here so everybody gets to know all of us. And so no matter if we stay where we are or we grow, we're still, that tight-knit community. And that's very important.
seeing the same names all the time in my live streams or my premieres or even like my community post, there's a lot of them that are commenting on like the podcast channel. Like it's like awesome. Like I know it's crazy, but it's awesome knowing that like when I go live, I know that there's going to be like familiar faces.
Right.
Like that just it's so much motivation to go live.
Right.
Is like, okay, I get to talk to these people, like
That-
even if it doesn't do, even if I don't get 50 people watching or something, it's awesome being
It's
able to
just for
like
hanging
hop in
out.
and know that no matter what, you're going to get that one or two person that you always see and talk to.
Right. Yeah, so that's the important part. And so, if we grow, we grow. And like I said, I just feel so bad for her because she did work so hard. She's such a
Yeah.
sweetheart, and to get slammed like that after a week. And because I remember when I got, everybody got the notice, about the pause on the memberships. I'm thinking, well, what the hell happened? And so when I
That
messaged her, and
happened
then
to
she told me, and I'm thinking, get out of here! It was you don't do anything wrong. I don't get it.
I was hoping it was just going to be something like what Tyler went through because Tyler like there was some information with his card or whatever, like his linked bank, that caused YouTube to suspend like his monetization, and then I think it was after like a week or two it was back. Um, and she sat there and like went live for like 6 hours every day, and
Yeah,
sometimes like 10 hours. She'd do like a 6 hour one and then a 4 hour one later, and just work so hard for it, releasing so much content and about like not even about herself, just about like her friends and like who she likes and this and that. And then just for them to be like,
that's
fuck your
it.
hard work.
Yeah, pretty much. They just kicked her in the face. Is everything okay, Bill? All the water cleaned up? We don't have to send out the rescue squad?
Yeah, be careful, Bill. Pay attention to your surroundings.
So yeah,
Sit in
that's
the
that's right,
bathtub.
Carla. She's doing what she enjoys, and I think we all are doing what we enjoy. But it's nice to have the little praises here and there so that you know that you're doing what somebody wants to see. And they're
Yeah.
enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because like I may get like the same views or even less views than I used to get, but I get more likes, more comments, more familiar faces, and honestly, to me, like it's better. Like even if a video like tanks, like it
No,
doesn't do
yeah,
well, I'm like, oh well, it's still the same people
same
that are
people,
like
right?
commenting and talking and messaging me and hopping in my live streams and asking questions. Like it's awesome.
Everybody get a straw. Go to Bill's house.
Yeah.
Uh,
Free basement water at Bill's.
yay! Need your pool filled up? Go to Bill's.
Yeah, Boo Productions. I mean, I don't. Yeah, with the monetization thing, like it's awesome, it's great, right? But like it doesn't pay for like the paranormal that I do or anything or like any of the equipment or anything. So like it's awesome, but at the same time, like I was doing it before, I'd still be doing it if I still wasn't monetized or anything. So,
Right.
it's just like a bonus, it's cool.
Yeah. I
People
mean, you're
want
not
to
making
support
millions
you.
off of it, so
Right.
it's nice. And then people will help out if like you need something and you can't afford to get it right away. So the donations
Yeah.
are a blessing. So like me, I don't have any of that equipment. I just don't have that kind of a budget. To
Yeah, and
be
they did recently help me. I posted on my members and asked like if anybody wanted to, and I reassured everybody like, hey, like this is like you do not have to. This is not pressure. Just wondering if anybody wants to. I want to get this to validate the music box,
right.
and a few people helped out, and I ended up getting one, and I haven't used it yet. Hopefully, I'll use it tomorrow. We'll see, but
So well,
awesome because I
it's
want to
yeah,
see
it
the
is
real.
awesome. Well, sure. You want to see how the things work. And that's what a lot of people are talking about the same thing, even though there's been testing done on equipment and we've seen little tidbits here and there. I've seen a few things that Mythos has been doing. He's been, you know, concentrating on testing equipment. That's what we want to see. We want to see more in-depth videos on the actual testing of what's going on and what you're doing, and then giving out your opinion. Because, like you said,
Yeah,
the stuff is expensive, and if you're spending all this money on like these REM pods and all this stuff, and it's all just a bunch of crap, you
I
know?
don't think it is. I don't think even when people like all due respect, I don't think showing that something can be done a certain way means that like it is or that it's garbage. I still believe in the spirit box. I still believe in the REM pod. I still believe in the music box. I believe in a lot of stuff that people don't. And that's okay because a lot of people don't believe in the paranormal or I have a
Exactly.
lot of people
Yeah.
that watch me that think anything I got wasn't, paranormal and I may think it is. So it's like I'm doing what I like and it is what it is.
Right. I still just want to see the science behind it. Like I said, I don't have those things to use them. So, it's and so when I'm watching
So the
everybody
thing
else use them, then I question, okay, well, maybe this set it off or that set it off, or, this way you could just tick off. I like to just tick off the box. And then when you see that those other things didn't affect it, then he's like, well, aha, maybe I do have something here.
Well, the thing I really like about the REM pod and music box specifically is I can make it go off. like with my body, like not with, like a walkie talkie or anything like that. Like I can put my hand there and make the REM pod go off. I can walk in front of a music box and make it go off. So I think if I can do that because of what I believe in, with ghosts and stuff, why couldn't they? That's why I don't really believe in, like the phone apps and stuff, is just because I can't do anything. Like, I can't talk into that phone and it like repeat it back because it heard my voice.
Right.
So to me, I'm like, that's iffy. But, Spirit Box is kind of the same thing. It's just ideas and the white noise, the static. So,
Right. Oh, well,
yeah,
yeah. Well, as far as like using this, like being going out and buying a spirit box, I mean, just old time radio, on just the white noise station or whatever, which is usually AM. I mean, wouldn't that do exactly the same thing?
it depends. Kind of. Yeah. So, what you're doing is with the white noise, the idea is that they're talking through like the static, the frequency. Like,
Right.
not some people have put some false information out there, like ghost hunters have, not the show, but um that they pull like words from a radio station. Like, that's just ridiculous. I don't believe that one bit. It's just you the idea is that when they're talking, it's in that like frequency, that uh white noise, and it comes
Right.
through. So I don't know if it, I don't I've never tried it, so I'm not an expert, but I don't know if just having it on like a station going like is like enough white noise produced. I'm not sure. So I'm not saying it isn't, but I've heard of people doing that and getting that like in their car and stuff like that.
Welcome,
I'm like,
holy cowgirl. I love that holy cowgirl hauntings.
holy cow, girl.
It's fantastic. Welcome. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like what you're saying. That's why I like to see the testing done. Just I don't know, just to kind of figure it out to see if we are going in the right direction. It can't hurt. It's not going to change anybody's probably point of view. Uh, but
I don't see the harm in trying at all. I don't get why some people are like, "Oh, just give it up. They're not real." And it's like, "What? Like that's, don't you want to know?" Some
at
people
least
don't want to know.
try. I know, right? I don't know. So yeah, if you can
Yeah.
afford it, and you have the stuff, then test away because it's all just a big experiment. Just keep testing. Checking things. You know.
I've seen enough personally and experienced enough to where I do believe in these devices, and that's why I continue to use them. And frankly, like, I don't care when people make videos and they'll say like, "Oh, like it's junk or whatever." I don't really care because I'm like, well, I've experienced it, so
So yeah, and who's to say that it wasn't the real deal?
yeah.
I mean, you just got to look at it that way. For that. Oh, because Mike wants to use his flux capacitor for that 1.21
1.21
gigawatt
gigawatts.
of juice.
I just watched Back to the Future the other day,
I
actually.
love it.
Yeah, those are like some of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, mine too. Great movies. Hey,
Yeah.
you never know. You never know. Okay, everybody. Anybody got any questions for Dawson before we let him escape the craziness and the turmoil? I'm sure he probably wants to get some other things accomplished. So quick, shoot him
Yeah.
out. Wait,
Ask
wait.
anything.
See, he opened the door. He said anything. I think the way to go is a voice recorder while playing static so that you can dive deeper into the actual sound waves that are recorded in a proper sound editing software.
Yeah,
Ah,
Wisdom had asked me about a few things in my last video that he was curious about, because I turned up my volume on my microphone a lot. because I knew I was going to be talking like really quiet. So there's this weird like static going on. It's like it kind of sounds like crap, but I didn't want to point it out because once I pointed it out, nobody was going to be able to unhear it. Um, and he took some of the clips and did like some stuff to it, and he was throwing his theories out there, and I just told him, I was like, hey, if you want to go over like that kind of stuff, whenever I use that voice recorder that Exploring Harley gave me, I'll just send him the hey, go ahead, because that's my least favorite thing to do is go over voice
Oh,
recorder stuff.
right, right.
So
It's just so tedious.
yeah, so
Bill wants to
he
know if you're
thinks he
going to get a
might.
monkey to care for your octopus.
That'd be smart because then they can work together and murder me. No,
Yeah, right. Oh, he's sleeping. Let's get him.
yeah, no, I'll never get a monkey, but that is a dream. Is there a location you wish to see across the? Yeah, there's a few. I definitely want to check out 30 East Drive for myself. That's one that I for sure want to do. I've always wanted to do like an authentic castle in like the UK or or Ireland or something like that. And for some reason Japan has always like struck me.
That's an amazing place.
Yeah. And whenever I end up upgrading someday, I'm gonna send it to somebody else that needs it, and it's gonna be
Fantastic.
pass it forward. But yeah, Japan
Fantastic.
is a place I really want to go to and investigate.
Bill wants to know how about Scotland.
Yeah,
I'd love to go to
yeah,
Scotland.
really, I want to do like English speaking places because I want them to be able to understand me and I want to be able to understand them. Because I just think if I sat there with the phone with like a translation, like even if I did get a reply back or something, then like I'd have to wait until I got home and like went over the footage and like did the translation of what I thought it was and this and that. So English speaking places is definitely the way to go for me personally.
Right.
Well, Japan is the exception. I want to go to Japan, so that is the exception, but
There's a lot of English speaking people there, though, too. But also, I did see actually another channel that I keep track of. They went to Japan and they did have on their phones an app that's a translator and it worked beautifully for them. So, I mean, if you do, end up going there, you at least know you could download a translator. So
yeah.
you at least you know what you're saying to somebody.
Oh, I just had a really good idea. I'm just gonna say it. Someone's gonna steal it because I'm not gonna be able to afford to go to Japan anytime soon. But they have those Google earbuds now that'll do real time translation. So, like, if you spoke Chinese and I spoke English and we were both wearing them, we'd hear each other in real time in our language.
Oh, cool.
I wonder what would happen if I put those in and like turned up the microphone sensitivity or something. And could you imagine I'm wearing those and all of a sudden I just hear like a translation into
Right.
English that says like, "Hey, what are you doing?" or something, and nobody's there,
Somebody saying, Dawson, get out.
like an EVP or whatever, Yeah,
Right.
what if? That'd be pretty crazy.
And then you see Dawson running in the other direction.
Yeah. She's what? And I'm like, you didn't hear that? But it's
Just
just
get
like in my
out here.
earbuds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody be like, no, we didn't hear it. But I don't know if you can like record that. So it'd have to be like based on like, oh, I just heard this, which could easily be like lied about or something. But if you can like record what you catch, that'd definitely be a good idea.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. There's a translator box like the obelisk shape, does real time and not need internet.
Oh, that's cool.
So, I didn't see. Like I said, there's so many things out there now. Like I said, I've never used any of that stuff. I just went with the basic bare necessities and running shoes. That's
Running shoes, yeah. I didn't used
no,
to
I'm
run.
really not a
One
runner.
day it changed.
Yeah, I'm really not a runner.
I used to not be, and then I started realizing like how crazy it can actually get. And then I, for one day, just started running and like Forrest Gump. And then now like I'm back on like ground level where now I try not to run anymore, but I will get out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, everybody gets a start, like, oh, like that. But, I just, like I said, I usually jump and then kind of swing. And then my sister, on the other hand, will actually just say, what the F, and start running towards it. So,
Yeah, like if it has to be pretty crazy to make me like run away or at least like go get my space from what just happened, whether it's like just go out into the hallway if I was like in a room or something like that.
right.
Um but I don't think I've ever like actually like ran out of a building or something and like, oh nope, I'm done. Like I always go
Yeah.
back, but
Yeah, no, I haven't done that either. Unless you have problems like Bill. He had a rabid fox on his property the other day. I'd be running.
a fox. I love
Yeah.
foxes. They're so cool. They're like dog cats.
Well, oh yeah, it was. We had run for fun. What kind of fun is that? Exactly. Well, it depends on what direction you're running in. But yeah, you got to check out
Yeah.
Bill's latest video he just put out. He's got a track on there with his dealings with the fox. So
Heck yeah.
he was.
Yeah, where I used to live in Illinois, there was foxes just all over the place. They just like walk through people's backyards and they'd set up their little like nest, I guess you would call it, with their
Yeah, well, he's
babies and
thinking.
people
Yeah, he's
like
thinking that the den is under his garage.
den. Yeah, yeah.
And then, but this one he said was foaming at the mouth. So I'm thinking, great, you're outside.
Oh yeah, that's not good. What
It's
that
blacker
yeah.
than black outside.
Yeah,
Your
you might
nearest,
have to.
neighbors is a mile or so down the road.
Yeah, unfortunately you may have to put that bad boy out.
So,
That's
thank
sad.
God he didn't get hurt.
Rabies isn't a joke. That's why like if
Oh,
there's a bat, like I'm swinging something because most of the time when you're doing like a ghost hunt, you're like 45 minutes from like a hospital. You don't have that much time
right.
whenever.
You start foaming.
Yeah, yeah. So, and bats, they carry a lot.
Oh, jeez. It's like, yeah, the screams, yeah, Carla, are just, it's awful. It's an awful sound.
For foxes,
Yeah, it's just like that
I don't know if I've
screaming.
ever heard one. What does the fox say? No, but anybody got any more
Any more
questions?
questions? Because I want to send everybody over to Fantastique's live, which she'll be doing in probably about 20 minutes, guys. So I want everybody to get over there and so we can see what's going on and cheer her up. And
Definitely.
we just want to support our girl, make sure she's doing okay. Well, Dawson, I really appreciate it.
It
I
was
really
nice
appreciate.
seeing her face and everything in that
Oh
video.
yes,
That was
wasn't
cool.
it?
I was
It
like,
was
what the
great.
hell?
I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god, it's her.
yeah.
I think everybody was surprised. I want to thank everybody
But
for coming.
yeah,
Oh,
thanks
I
for
hope you
having
all
me
got.
on again.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're always welcome to come on. Actually, I was talking with Tyler a while back about having the two of you on again after you have your other. You said you had some other thing coming up that you were taking care of.
Possibly. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that one had to get put on the back burner
Oh,
because the popularity made neighbors mad. And people in a small town, when things change, you know how they get. They get all pissy, and
and then the
so people
shotguns
are
come out.
people are complaining and they're calling insurance companies, and it's causing problems for this person.
Right.
So I wasn't able to go again yet.
Oh,
Any equipment I've been really wanting? Not necessarily. Um, I just got that anemometer that I was looking for. I still would like to use an SLS and see for myself because I don't really take people's opinions on stuff necessarily. I like to see it for myself and see if it's full of shit or not. But I'm not gonna buy one for that. But so equipment wise, not necessarily. Other than like, eventually I'm gonna get a new camera in a long time. But
Right. It's just, yeah, a little at a time. That's all you can do. So, everybody, thank you. We really appreciate you all hanging out with us. You guys are all fabulous. Please remember to like and subscribe if you're not subscribed to either Dawson or my channel. You got to follow Dawson's adventures. He's just doing a great job. You're going in the right direction, and we are loving it. And anytime you want to come back on, just let me know and we'll set it up again. Like I said, we could do something with Tyler, a collab or whatever, you guys, or whoever. Anybody ever wants to come on, just hit me up in a message. There's always room for
sounds
open
good.
mic and just a great live time show. And pretty much, I think that's about it. Just be careful if you're going to travel this evening. We look
Oh,
forward to
we'll
what you got
see.
coming out.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'm traveling tonight, but there's a few things that have to fall into place still. But yeah.
Well, if
So
not, hopefully your air conditioning goes back on and you'll be cool.
yeah.
Just pray for the simple things. That's
Thankfully.
all we can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But until then,
All right.
guys, thank you all for joining us on the Raw side, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.